It was just like the saddest time of my life. Just like it was just like classic, like teenager going through it in high school. But no one was very supportive of really anyone, or any of the kids really. I like stayed after school all the time, worked on it all week. Only had like 2 weeks to do it probably. Worked on it a lot. I thought I made a banger. I was hyped on it, and yeah, ended up winning the contest, and we got to go on like the town radio station. I guess that's like what my style is reminiscent of too. Like me as a toddler, like I had a bowl cut, and I kind of wear similar clothes, and like they fit me kind of the same.
Today I'm here with GUS DAPPERTON.
Hello.
So you were born in like upstate, right?
Yes, upstate New York.
Yeah.
Warwick, New York.
Yeah. Were your parents from there as well?
Yes, my dad was from Queens and then moved to Long Island, and then he moved to Warwick and they met in Warwick. Yeah.
And they do business, right? Is that why they moved?
Yeah, well my mom is a teacher and my dad is a healthcare consultant.
Oh. Where do you think you got your creative side from?
I'm not quite sure, but I've always just felt the need to like portray my emotions in some sort of creative outlet, because I think if I did, it would all build up inside of me, because I'm a very like closed person. So there's definitely like a need to just release all that into something. So I pretty much tried everything, and then I kind of landed on music, and music is just my favorite.
Yeah.
So.
Your dad was playing like Beatles when you were growing up, right? Like a lot of rock, I guess.
Yeah, lots of like dad rock stuff. Like Beatles, Beach Boys, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, same exactly as my dad.
Yeah, David Bowie, but then he would play like a lot of hip-hop stuff too, a lot of 50 Cent. Yeah.
And you were into like skateboarding when you were younger.
Yeah. I still am now, but I tore my ACL and my meniscus in high school, so I couldn't skate for a while. But I'm back in.
How do you describe yourself back then, growing up?
There was definitely like a group of us who all skated, and I'd say those kids were all very creative too, because like naturally in the society that I grew up in, I guess since we skated, which is so stupid, we were more outcasts, and that made us more inclined to indulge in being outcasts more, I guess.
Do you remember the first CD you bought? Or
the first CD I bought was Mad Villainy by Mad Villain, which is MF Doom and Madlib's project. And that's like the first like CD I bought like at like For Your Entertainment, like in the mall, like one of those stores. But I probably bought I probably downloaded other music before that on my MP3 player.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you like school growing up?
No, I hated school. I always hated school. All of the teachers grew up near or in Warwick, went to school, came back and taught.
New York.
And no one was very supportive of really anyone. Or any of the kids really. I don't know. A lot of the teachers just, gave us a lot of homework, which wasn't very stimulating. And would just have us watch movies in class and give us packets. I don't think that's real teaching. When I got to college, like I definitely took some classes that were super inspiring and changed like my opinion about school, but I don't know. I just like can't do school. like focused on music and whatnot.
How did you get into hip hop initially? Because you're producing for some upstate like hip hop artists.
Yeah, just they were all my friends really growing up. I started producing hip hop, and then I met my friend Elijah Banksy, and I was working with him a lot, and my friend Simonez Antrudega, and basically just all my friends. We all got into it at the same time together, and I would produce and they would rap mostly.
Were you already at that point like sharing and doing music with your sister?
Yeah, me and my sister would like mess around and make tracks once in a while, but she was like more of a she was like a really good performer, and it was hard to kind of like combine our endeavors at the time, because I don't necessarily think like at the time I could curate a song that was like at her level of like performing and singing and like record one. Like I just felt I didn't really do them justice. She's like a really good singer. And nowadays we work together, and I produce her songs. She writes, and yeah, she's like her own artist.
Did you ever consider being a duo?
No, I didn't, but we were both super supportive of each other's music, though, for sure. And she plays in my band too, and hopefully if she has a band sometime I could play in her band too.
That'd be sweet. And then what was like the 8th grade like songwriting contest?
Yeah, so that's like how I got into producing. Before that I was like drawing a lot, and I would like make videos from time to time too. Like I was into like filming and editing, and I would say those are my creative outlets. And then in 8th grade, I had this teacher who was like, there was this mandatory project where we had to like write a song and record it. And that's like the most intimidating thing, especially in our town. It's like the world revolves around like football and school, like activities, which is like just ridiculous. Because if we were like if we had a really good like we had really good sports programs, I'd be like, okay, but like we don't, so it's kind of stupid. But so I was like, it was really intimidating for everyone, and I was like, man, this is dope. We get to like produce a song in like GarageBand. I like stayed after school all the time, worked on it all week. Only had like 2 weeks to do it probably. Worked on it a lot. I thought I made a banger. I was hyped on it, and yeah, ended up winning the contest, and we got to go on like the town radio station. There was like winners from like other classes too. There was like 2 others. Yeah. And all the songs were pretty good, honestly. But then I like look back on it now, and it was so like distasteful. Like, it was so bad. Like, but then after that, I was like, yo, Keyshawn, we gotta fucking make music all the time. You rap, I'll produce, and we just started doing that a lot, and then met a bunch of other people who did that.
Were you going by another name before that?
Yeah, I was going by Spazzy McGee. Yeah.
You always kind of like I guess like more retro names, or?
Yeah, I just always like had words like flying through my head and like characters, and I would always write a lot in my notebook and come up with like stories and ideas. So I always had like interesting things like that.
And what age did you come up with GUS?
When I was 17, turning 18.
Oh, was there a specific moment how you came up with it?
Yeah, it was basically the part of myself that is comfortable being themselves in a world that's inconvenient for people to be themselves. That's how I labeled it, and it was just kind of in the back of my head, really. And
then towards the end of high school, you changed from like hip hop to more dream pop. What was the reason for the transition?
Yeah, so it was kind of just like a flick of a switch, and I was like, I really want to, have my own voice regardless of what it sounds like in my songs, and I want to compose original music because I just like kind of came at, I was just like, I just have to do this in order to survive, like just like give everything into the music, and regardless of what it sounds like, it just has to all be me. I don't know.
But were you listening to more like dream pop music, or like what was the?
I wasn't there wasn't anything in particular that inspired me like to go in a certain direction, but I like went back to like the music that I grew up on as a kid, and was like went kind of back to like a nostalgic time for me and what that may have sounded like, and the combination of all those influences like my parents put me on to and things like that. And I think that's how I kind of like I guess that's like what my style is reminiscent of too. Like me as a toddler, like I had a bowl cut and I kind of wear similar clothes, and like they fit me kind of the same. But yeah, it's just like the like knowing no evil as a toddler, and just like pure knowledge and pure fascination that kind of inspired me and my sound.
What was the like existential crisis that you were going through?
Yeah, so basically, it was just like the saddest time of my life. Just like it was just like classic, like teenager going through it in high school. But basically, my Mac crashed, and that was like my entire life. I tore my ACL and my meniscus, and I was out of school for like a whole month at least. All my friends were going out and stuff, and I just stayed inside and, you know, just kept working on music. And like my ex-girlfriend started dating one of my friends, and it all just like built up in a really weird way. And it was like I was just in this deep dark hole of despair, and then I don't know what did it, but it was like the flick of a switch, and I was just like kind of understood reality more. And I was like, at that moment, anything good amplified how happy I could be so much, because I was so in this deep dark pit. So like any little bit of happiness was just amplified. So I guess I just realized it was, you know, like the inconvenience of being yourself is more rewarding, and like you have to go through these really unpleasurable times for there to even be pleasurable things. So once I understood that, I was just good, and I was just kind of was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Did you realize that yourself, or did your like parents help you like realize that?
Oh no, it was definitely just me, for sure.
Oh wow. What was the decision to go to, was it Philly to study music technology?
Yeah, it was basically I wanted to be in New York, but it was really just like the program that I decided to go to, and Drexel had this dope music program. So I went, that was cool. I went there for 2 years, and I thought I would have more of like an influential time while I was at school, but it just helped me realize that like everything I had been doing is just kind of what I always wanted to do. And when I got to school, it actually kind of made me realize that like there really is no like formula to making music. Everyone makes music differently, and it just, you know, makes like everyone's music have more character that way. And I was like, damn, I'm going here, and all they're teaching me is that there is no formula. Like, you know, like everyone makes music differently, and everyone goes about it differently. And that's like what I always thought and had known, but like when I went to school, it just kind of proved that. Which was good. Like that's what I needed, like closure on that. But
was college something that your parents wanted you to do, like pushed you to do?
Yeah, definitely.
You probably wouldn't have gone if they didn't ask you.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really want to go, but then I think I convinced myself that I wanted to. It was like the one thing they wanted me to do, literally, so yeah.
And then after 2 years, was it your music just already taking off, so then you quit, or?
Not even particularly. I just couldn't do it anymore. I like focused on music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went back to like living with your parents and like working on music.
Yeah.
At home.
So now I just stay with my parents while I'm in between touring. But I have a spot in Philly.
Oh.
It's like a big warehouse, and I
Nice.
would make music out of there for a while. But
like, how did you even get management?
Oh yeah, no, I kind of just did it all myself.
So were you like promoting with blogs, or?
I was trying to, but in high school I would send my songs to like 50 blogs, and I would get maybe 1 or 2 responses, and the responses would be like, oh, this is like, they would give me critiques, like creative critiques, and I was like, what? Like, I was like, this is like, I was like, it's either you fuck with it or you don't. If you said straight up, I don't like the song,
Yeah.
great, respect. But they would like come up with reasons like why they wouldn't. Like one time, I'm not gonna say who because I like them now, but they like, this one blog sent me back and they were like, it was like, I was singing on it and my friend Elijah was rapping on it, my friend Ryan was rapping on it. And they were like, yeah, like I like the rap verses, but I really don't like the kid's voice who's like singing. And I was like, true. But that's like an interesting way for her to just come back and be like, yeah, no, we're not gonna post it. But so then after that, I was like, I'm never sending my stuff out again. People can post it if they want to. I wasn't really getting my stuff out there. I just uploaded it, really.
Yeah. How did your team find you then?
We all kind of found each other. I started working with this director, Matthew Dillon Cohen, who does like all my visuals.
Yeah,
and,
he's amazing. Like, how did you even
yeah,
connect with him?
He's my best friend. So,
Oh.
Basically, I was looking to do a music video. Always wanted to do one for this song that me and my friend Beshkin made called Faceless. And we met with a couple directors who we really didn't like because they just weren't really that like nice people. And then my friend was like, hey, you should meet this dude Matt. He's like started his own production company and stuff. You should just meet him. I didn't even know like if he was a director or what his deal was, but we met him. He was a really good photographer, and he had like one video that he made that wasn't out yet, and then he just produced on a couple other videos. But I was like, this guy's taste is like so up my alley. We really connected, and then ever since then we've just made videos together, and we're like best friends and stuff.
Wow.
So yeah.
How did you get funding initially for your early projects?
We made a GoFundMe.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and we raised $4,000 and made
Wow. What year was
a video. 2016.
Oh, okay, pretty recent.
Yeah, it's all been fairly recent.
Yeah.
Then we had other ways of doing it initially. I made one video that I don't know if I should drop this, but basically Matt was shooting another video that had full funding, and he convinced the team that was doing it to do a different video for me a day before, just for fun.
Yeah.
And convince everyone to basically just do it.
Yeah.
We just had to pay for a studio space.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
I had money saved up for that, so.
Were you already really into like film and like the visual aspects already, like when you were young?
Yeah.
So like know how you want to direct and how you want certain things, color correction.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have had like a more of a subconscious taste in things that I liked, but then when I met Matt, he like put everything into terms I could understand, basically, like on what that was. So yeah, I definitely wasn't like that involved like technically with film, but I definitely like have a very specific taste, and I really trust Matt in like portraying myself visually. Like I don't really trust anyone else with it, so.
And I guess it's kind of like the YouTube videos that people started finding more and more of your stuff, the understacking. So you kind of like got a lot of your fans from these videos that you made.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the videos are super important, and I think the way that me and Matt do it, just since we kind of like have this idea festering in our heads for like 6 months at a time, it's kind of like a really full conception of an idea, like as opposed to like a bunch of directors writing like a treatment for an artist and then doing it. We kind of just, I'll like show him songs and the making of them, and we'll start coming up with ideas for like a really long time. So. And
are you signed now or independent?
No, I'm independent.
Is that a decision that you want to stay independent?
Yeah, just like it's more of just like I make all the music, I produce it, play it, mix it, master it, and perform it, and write it, and just like It would be weird if someone else owned it. It would just like be weird. So I just like am not really ready to like give up the ownership of my music.
Yeah.
But which like when I feel like when I say it like that and put it into that perspective, people are like, oh shit, that's true. But I mean, like, record labels are really dope though too, you know?
Yeah.
I just myself am not like ready for that quite yet, but yeah, I just I like being independent right now. I have a really great team of people that I work with.
What was the children's book that you wrote, like Glum from Up?
Yeah, so I wrote this children's book called Glum from Up, and I wouldn't even necessarily say it's a children's book, but it's written in the format of a children's book, and my friend Kenzo Rapola illustrated it, and I'm working on getting that printed just to sell as merch.
Oh, that's so cool.
I basically just really liked this kid's paintings, and I was like, dude, like, we should do something. He's like, why don't I do an album cover? And I was like, I don't know, let's just do like a children's book or something. And he was like, all right. So I wrote it, and then he illustrated it, and yeah, I like it a lot. I'm trying to get it printed to sell as merch. I'm working on that right now. It's like, I don't know why it's like taking me so long.
What about colors inspired your EP?
Yeah, so like I'll go through phases with different colors I'm inspired by. Like I was inspired by a lot of like primary colors and just like the combination of red, yellow, and blue, just like straight up. And yeah, a lot of people are inspired by like the weather. I'm not inspired by the weather. I really like rainy days and stuff, but that doesn't like stimulate my creativity, but changes in like my environment do stimulate that. So yeah, like colors do as well.
How would you say your music has changed since the early songs you made?
I think when I was 17 turning 18 and I was like, this is all of me. I think it's been this, I really found a sound, and I think I've just been evolving on that since. And hopefully just, you know, getting better and learning as I kept going. But yeah, just evolving upon this one idea, basically.
Yeah. How do you think you've grown as a person since when you were younger?
I don't know. I would definitely say that I'm like I said, that I'm just more comfortable. I'm fully comfortable being myself now. The society that I grew up in was like kind of stunted that, and I would say that I definitely have just come to terms with the inconvenience of being myself, and that's definitely how I've grown. And you know, also just I think I used to be really introverted as a kid, and now I would say I'm more of I don't know. I think I've started to become more open with people. I used to be more closed, and I think that's something I still have to work on. But I think I've definitely been gradually becoming to be more open with people, just about how I'm feeling and just talking more. I don't know.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far?
I honestly I guess the environments of like making music. Like I get noise complaints all the time, and that's a huge challenge because I don't really like other people to hear what I'm working on. So it's not even the fact that I'm bothering them. It's like knowing that they can hear me is ridiculous to me and just like crazy. So that always sucked, and I've always had terrible like problems with neighbors like that. One time I was like just talking to someone, literally in like sitting on my bed talking to someone, and like someone just starts banging on the wall.
Wow.
I'm like whispering at this point. Or I'd be doing laundry and like someone would just smash on the wall.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
just like, yo, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever. Yeah, and people would be really like hostile about it and come over and like slam on the door, and I'm just like, hey, how's it going? He's just yelling, and I was like, listen, I will stop making noise. You're making noise right now. All you had to do was ask. And now we're in this big conflict, and you're making a fool of yourself, and you're waking everyone up on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm just like, people are mad ridiculous.
What does success look like to you?
Success is being able to finalize your art and hone in on your craft. And I think that's success, and I think it's just a bonus when you are really happy with the things that you have created. I'm proud of them. I think things you've made you can look back on, and those will take you back to a place that you were when you made them, and hopefully bring back some fond memories, and then hopefully bring back some memories that aren't so fond, but know that you've learned from those. I think just being comfortable with all things that you've created. Yeah.
What does love mean to you?
I don't know. I definitely fall in love way too easily. And
The sigh.
And I don't know. I'm definitely a hopeless romantic. People really fascinate me, and I fall in love a lot. And it sucks when it doesn't work out, but I don't know.
Yeah. Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
I guess I would just like my friends and family to remember me as someone, who could always be there for them. I hope that people that care about me and people that I care about can remember me as someone that was always there for them.
Yeah, I love that. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Bye.
Yeah.